And it was just like, wasn't it like about, when was it? Just about about this time ago last year, we were sitting
The
here
same thing
crying
happened
long
in
tears
prison.
over the same thing. A young lady, a young girl, she was like about
A baby,
a baby,
yeah, 8, 9 years old, somewhere around there.
a baby. She was killed by a much older, I think the guy was what, 20, 24, 25, whichever. That's not the point of it. The matter is, so what the hell is happening to our young men? What is it?
You know, the sad thing is, they're sitting in prison, eating the taxpayers' money, and it's sad. I spoke to a friend of mine who works at the prison, the prison, and I spoke to him on Saturday, and he said, I asked him, what about the guy that, murdered the little girl last year?
Uh-huh.
And he said, I looked at him in the backyard last week playing basketball with the prisoners and laughing. I'm like, wow, he's so comfortable.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I want you guys to agree or disagree with me on this topic right here. I want you guys to agree or disagree with me. Let me know, right? I believe that a lot of these guys who go ahead and commit this gruesome act, they are treated far too nice in prison, right? They are treated far too nice in prison. Because for somebody, let me tell you the mental state of somebody, what have somebody brain have to go through to put somebody to, they have to hate that person so bad, they have to go through so much of a anger to kill this person. You're exhibiting not even human behavior. This is wild animal kind of behavior to kill somebody in that kind of state. And you go to prison and you sit there and you get food, you get nice hotel treatment, you get nice up, you go play basketball, you vibing. Some people have cell phones inside of the, I'm not some people have cell phones. Some people do all sorts of stuff inside of there. So guess what? The next guy is standing there, sitting there on the outside saying, well, prison seems like it's a Bella Rose. Prison too nice. Prison sweet. Prison is not like hard times, So more needs to be done. There need to be more rigorous not rigorous treatment in prison, but there need to be more hard labor, whether it's hard labor or whatever is I don't lock them up for a very in solitary confinement. I don't know what it is, but if somebody commit and act like that on a child, rape, you can't treat them nice. You can't treat them nice. You can't treat them nice. This whole thing is so upsetting. This whole thing is so upsetting that we have to be going through this whole situation again. We're talking about it again, and like nothing is being done. Them kids and them who's doing it, they're 20 years old. They're not scared about prosecution. They don't seem. I heard he even probably discussed this. I don't know if you heard about this, Lynn. Did he discuss it with somebody else? Did he made mention of it to somebody else? From what you heard?
I'm not sure.
Well, I heard. Hold on. Let me see. So I'm reading your comment, Junior. Does the family have a GoFundMe account to set up for the burial? Alfia Neckles, thank you so much for watching, and great point. Alfia Neckles wants to find out if the family has a GoFundMe page that we could donate. Now, as I said earlier, this is the situation. So we set up this program here today to invite the family on here to come and talk so we could do a financial donation, a financial contribution. I myself wanted to contribute some monies to assist the family. All right. It is not a personal message, but I'll give you a little synopsis of what was sent to me as why they declined at the last minute to come on, because all earlier today we had a confirmation that the family was going to be on here, just right before program time, right before show time. I'm trying to find that message. I got the message from the family stating, I'm not seeing the message, so I'm going to paraphrase it. The family is basically saying that because of the legal implication that may arrive, that they decided to opt out of the ride along interview because of it might help the prosecution in some way. And I understand. I completely understand that why they had to make that decision. But as far as it relates to the GoFundMe page, I am not sure if that was set up. I would have liked to raise some money for the family so they could have a burial, but it's not the fact that they don't have the money. I don't know if they do or they don't. The fact that they don't want to do they don't want to do a traditional burial in the ground is because her body is so badly decomposed. She's been sitting there for a number of days, and as gross as it sounds, that she's unrecognizable. So to put her in a coffin, for one, it's not going to be an open casket funeral because she's unrecognizable, and they're not going to open the casket. So the family opted to, as an easier way to do it, is to have her body cremated. However, I still believe that we could play an important role in assisting the family. I still believe that we could play an economical part in assisting the family. And that's what we're going to do. Within the next day or two, I'm going to continue to speak with the family and see how we could raise some money to help them. And that was the purpose of having them on the program here today. Lynn, as a family member as well, would the family be open to having some kind of discussion of how we could raise some money for them? Are they interested in anything like that? Since they didn't come on today, are they thinking about setting up a GoFundMe or anything like that?
I'm not sure. You know what? Let me go and call and get some more info on that, and I'll call you back.
All right, that's good. Yeah, do some research for me. Do some research for me, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, right. Guys. I want you to call in. I want you guys to call in right now. The number that you call 718-701-5720. We're talking about this very, 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 very sad thing, right? And I see that Lydia James just posted a comment. They said no, the scent would be Lydia James said no, the scent would be unbearable. The dead scent is the worst. Now, I've had an opportunity to actually do a show inside of a funeral home, right? And I got I had, every time I think about that, I just want to just throw up. I had the opportunity to witness a dead, decomposed body inside of a funeral home. And believe you me, that was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. In my life, I never experienced anything as obscenely like that. Was the worst. Absolutely. So I'm thinking that the family also don't want to do the funeral because of that as well. So you're right, Lydia. The stench is unbearable. The stench would be unbearable. I'm sure that there are things that could be done that could tamper down the smell and all that other stuff, but you don't want to go close. So that may be another reason why the family opted to that. Now, unless we hear why the 16-year-old was not under her mother's wing, I'm not compelled to help. Cassia, Cassia has a point. Now, Cassia, or anybody for that matter, I want you guys to call me on Facebook Messenger. I know you might have been long distance. I want to have this conversation with you because people have been talking about this. I want to get a perspective of it. Why aren't you not compelled to help because she was not under her mother's wing, her mother's guardian at that time? At 16-year-old, right? At 16-year-old, at 16 in Grenada, you are able to make. You're a young adult. You are a young adult. You make those decisions. So I want to get your point, Casey. You could call me on Facebook Messenger. Just message me here, or you could call this number as well, 718-701-5720. Let us have this conversation right now, right? And I also want to talk about what is it about the young men. Okay, somebody calling me on Facebook Messenger. I'll take the call. I'll take that call. Trini Grenadian is calling me, and we're gonna have this conversation right now. Trini Grenadian Jen, how you doing? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right. What's your what? Make your input. What you saying?
I do not have the right to speak on the behalf of the family.
Okay.
So I am listening to you and I'm looking at the comments, and half of the people do not know the story.
Okay.
But as I say, the family did not give me the right. I am very close to them.
Okay.
And it's amazing when I see the comments people put up and the fingers that they throw. Even the young lady that you have on there, she don't know half of nothing, because everything you ask her, she don't have an answer to it. And these are questions I can answer. How many of you guys took the time to visit the family and speak? What happened could have happened to any one of us. The fact is, yes, we all say, oh, the mother should have called and find out if the child reached by the sister, which is true. We're not going to argue that at all.
Right.
But then again, not everybody think at the same time. Because if you show that the child always go by the sister, you understand?
Right.
In the heat of the moment, sometimes you don't think about calling to say, well, Susan and Jenny coming by you. You understand? To make sure that she get there, because it's not the first time she's leaving to go there, and she always get there. You understand? It's just unfortunate of how the situation happened.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Since you have the information, why didn't the family report her missing earlier?
Because it took them a while, a day or two before they realized that she was not by the sister. How could you report it that somebody missing when you thinking deep down, okay, she leaves to go by the sister and she's there?
Right.
Because it's not the first time she leaving to go by the sister.
So the mother and the family.
Okay, as I said, they did not give me the right to speak. So I am let's just say that, okay, you are accustomed going by somebody, or you know your son accustomed going there. You understand? And he leaves to go there. Probably at the third time you did not call to find out if he reached. But then let's say the next day, you tell yourself, but wait, Tom didn't call to tell me he reached, or Auntie Shoma didn't tell me that John reached there, or whatever the case may be. So then you decide to call. It could happen to the best of us. We get on like if we perfect. Nobody perfect. But as I said, the family did not give me the right to speak, so I don't want to speak too much of what I know. Unless they say, well, all right, yes, you can speak. But it's just amazing at the comments. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and everybody trying to point
let me just say this too, because I'm watching the comments in the chat room, and let me just say this. What's the freaking difference? Right?
Say that again?
No, I'm not saying it to you. I'm just asking everyone that's watching. What's the implication? That's not the difference. What's the implication? What's the implication if the mother, the father, or the family didn't report her missing at the time as early as the day or so? what is the implication? Why is that? Why is that a contentious issue? Why is people bringing that up?
Well, I would want, if I hear you clearly, I would want to believe if the child had left home, let me say like 3 o'clock, and expecting to get by the sister by 4 o'clock,
Uh-huh.
and the mother had called and she was not there at 4 o'clock, it would have raised eyebrow probably by 6 o'clock, if you understand.
Right.
Because we would have said, come on, we all are Caribbean parents and the child is 16 years. And if we have a little rebellion 16 years, and she don't expect her to get there at 4 and she didn't get. As Caribbean parents, we will say, well, okay, let's see if she go get there at 6, we will make excuses thinking, well, probably she in town, she choosing, but she probably with friends. Oh, God, come on, we know how this thing goes. You understand? But what I'm saying, if they had done that, then by 7 o'clock, it would have raised eyebrow probably to, not probably, but to at least go to the police earlier, that's all. And as I said to the parents, that's where they lag a little bit. You understand? They should have been more responsible. But again, as I say, the child is not the first time.
Right.
So I guess the parents just get comfortable. Well, every time we have a dispute or something happens, she run by the big sister and
Oh,
the sister accepts that.
so
So they accept that part.
Right.
It's just like they kind of accept that,
right.
but just didn't know that. Okay, this time she wouldn't go straight there, or this time something would happen. It's just that.
So
That's
what
people
you
need to
what you
take the
implying?
time off to get the story.
What you're implying is that is not the first time she has went away for an extended period of time.
No, it's always a family issue, and it's not the first time she would leave. And you know what? I don't want to say. As I said, the family did not give me the right to speak, but it just when I read the comments, that people are so judgmental and they pretend to be so perfect. Nobody perfect.
Right.
This is a sad moment, and I think we should start educating. If we want to make comments, we should make comments now for that not to happen again. We should make comments to educate people out, parents out there, we parents out there, so it wouldn't repeat itself. A parent wouldn't make that same mistake. It would open parents' eyes that when their children say that I'm going there, you give them a time span to reach there and you call and make sure that they're not showing, and if the child is bad and she is good and she, whatever that, and try to make the parents feel bad. Because we as parents, sometimes we do everything possible to bring up with children in the right way, but they out there and they meet with other children who parents probably didn't put in the emphasis that so I mean, all I'm saying is no need to, whether the child was bad or good, no need for that now. No need to the parents, the families are already under a lot of stress.
Yes.
You understand? So it's no need to bash them now and try to make them feel more bad. Let's look for ways to comfort them. And
Yes.
as I say, give other parents out there,
Yes.
encouraging words as to how to deal, so another child
Yes.
wouldn't end up in that situation.
That's
That's
true.
what I think we need now.
Let me say this again, right? Let me just say this. I want to find out from the people who's watching. You guys could comment in the chat, or you guys could call on the phone or on Facebook Live. Why is it so important that we focusing on that issue, not focusing on the real issue? This is the real issue. Let me show you guys the real issue. The real issue is a young man, a 20-year-old man, was just charged in capital murder for the death of a 16-year-old in the Caribbean. The big picture that this happened last year, almost similar, but a much younger little girl. Now a lot of people are focusing on the fact that the mother neglect the child and the child should be under her care and all of that stuff. What about the big picture? We cannot start playing victim blaming and all kind of stuff, right? What about consoling the parents? What about talking and saying some positive thing for the mother and the father who is going through trauma in their life right now? I'm missing a sister just lost her sister. Her mother just lost her mother in the most gruesome ways. In the most gruesome ways, having to find out this on social media. Let us have a big discussion about why is it that some of our men, our young men in the Caribbean, I ain't gonna single out no particular country, island in the Caribbean, why so much of our young men find it so easy to just blatantly rape and kill our young girls? Why isn't that the bigger topic and focus that we talk about? Why isn't that the bigger topic that we're speaking about? I want to know. Instead of we looking at the victim, we see that all the time. This happens all the time. As soon as something happens, we do it unconsciously now because it's just come into our brain. Like before we look at what actually happened, we start to blame the victim and everybody who is innocent in it. There is a young man, 20-year-old, who is being charged for capital murder for killing a young girl, 16 years old, leaving her to die, or whether he killed her on the spot or however he killed her. That is the bigger issue. That is the bigger discussion. We need to talk. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for calling. All right?
Thank you, too.
All right. Okay. Guys, call me in. Call me up. 718-701-5720. Let's have a big discussion on this big topic. Not small discussion on small topics. I want to know, I know someone had told me that they wanted to, I could get in touch with them here. So I want to pull her into this discussion right now. But please, feel free to call. 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Let us talk about this particular issue. Let us talk about this particular issue. Now, the mother was on a program earlier today. I want to try to pull up this program right here. The mother was speaking on this topic here today on GBN television. And I want to get a chance, if I could play this back right here. And hear what the mother had to say about after they went in and had to identify.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. It's hard.
They had to identify the young girl. Now the mother, I'm looking distracted because I want to pull this up so everybody could see it. There we go. Take a look at this, guys. Take a look at this. This is the mother on a program earlier today on GBN. Credit to GBN television for this this excerpt. This was in the news. Check this out.
The most is hard to accept.
The partially decomposed body of 16-year-old Quinette Johnson was found face down in an open compartment underneath a house in Charlottesville, St. David on Thursday. She was a former student of both Convent St. George and Westerhall Secondary School. The Johnson family confirmed this to GBN during an interview today. According to her mother, Joy Johnson, the family went to identify the body this morning, but only her brother, her son, and her husband had the courage to view her body.
No, I did not. My husband, my son, my brother, and went to view the body, and they identify this is Quinette.
Miss Johnson told GBN that her daughter was last seen home last Thursday, and after having an argument with her sister, indicated that she was leaving to visit another sister in Defu Spring, St. George. But, unknowingly to the mother, her daughter never showed up at her sister's home.
Although she was not here, but I didn't come to take a missing person because she was go by the sister. So I didn't come to take a missing person. See, that if she didn't accustom and she go for the first time, I'd say, well, it's a missing person.
Miss Johnson says based on information received, there is a high possibility that her daughter was raped. An official report up till news time has not been issued by the Royal Grenada Police Force. However, according to Inspector Trevor Rodney, head of the Community Relations Department, investigators are out in the field pursuing at least one person of interest. Inspector Rodney could not divulge whether this investigation is being treated as a homicide. Janelle MacDonald for GBN News.
Thank you, Janelle MacDonald. Again, that was a news excerpt from GBN television. Guys, as I said, I saw someone posted this comment earlier. Why do a show when no one knows anything? Again, let me just reiterate on that. The program today was scheduled the sister to come and talk to us. Minutes before we came on air, the sister opted out of the interview for various reasons. However, I think it's important that we have this conversation to talk about the bigger picture, to see how we could cultivate ideas in how this type of situations don't continue to occur. All right? Because we all have brothers, we all have sisters, we all have communication with people that we meet on a daily basis. And I want to know, I want to get your vibe, I want to get your ideas as to why, what, how we could start having positive conversation. Who do we need to talk to prevent situations from this from happening? Does it mean that we have to, the government, we have to talk to elected officials to enact stiffer penalties on people who are committing those crimes? Is it possible, and I'm just putting some information out there, is it possible that people who commit those crimes and who is seen to possibly commit those crimes need to be committed to a mental institution? Is it possible that people who go in get incarcerated for this crime need to be treated for that as a mental issue instead of a physical, but it's a mental issue? Is that the things that we need to start talking about? We're live, guys. 718-701-5720. That's the number that you could call, or you could call me on Facebook Live, Facebook Messenger right now, and let's have this discussion. I just had someone that I wanted to call that had some information, a very controversial idea, but I want to hear from that person, so I'm going to call her. She asked me to call her, Kesia. Okay, let's take the caller first before we come in. Caller, you live. 718. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn, Junior.
Okay, all right. What's your input, caller?
To be honest with you, I just happened to see the young lady's face, and it really breaks my heart. We're from the same village, and no joy like I know my sisters.
Wow.
And I think the school, I'll bring it back, let's say, to the school.
Yes.
We need to get to the school as early as possible.
Yes.
To teach the children to be responsible. Yes, I say parents, but then we have to get back to the children. And why I say children, there are a lot of things that I learn of my children now that I'm grown that I never knew my kids used to do when I tell myself they're sitting in convent or they're sitting in high school. I don't think I was a careless parent. I think I did a good job as a mother. But when your kids are not in your presence, only God knows what they do.
Right.
But we have to get back. That's all I can say. We have to get back into the schools and help to educate the kids as to be responsible. You know, go where you say you're going. If there is an issue, maybe talk about it, because you do the best you can as a parent. And, you know, when they're out there, you're not there with them. And half the time they don't tell you the truth. Don't care how close you are with your kids as parents, they always hold back something.
Yes. As I say, you make your kids, you don't make their minds.
True.
You make the kids, you don't make their minds. Parents need to have that open line of communication between them and their children. On both ends.
Yes, because with the young man, we don't know as to what happened, how it happened, whether they have a relationship. And it's sad because it's somebody's child.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't like it to happen to my daughter. But on the other hand, God knows whether he wanted to kill her. We don't know what happened, you know?
Yeah.
But education is the key. I think education is the key.
Education is the key. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you for your input. We appreciate
bye-bye.
your input. Mm-hmm. Guys, I saw someone posted earlier about this, and this is a very, very, very debatable topic. The topic is to someone who could look at a child, and in their brain, in their mind, that child looks like attractive to them. Someone that could look at a baby, and in their mind, that child or that baby is they're sexually aroused by that. Someone who could look at a little teenage girl and don't see her as a little teenage girl, but see her as a sexual prey. in my mind, anyone that could phantom those type of thoughts have some issues. It could be mental issues, it could be whatever issues you want to talk about, but they have issues. I correlate it to be mental illness because it's an issue, it's an imbalance of some sort. It's a debatable topic. It's a debatable topic. But I think that someone who cold-blooded murder, to kill someone and have no remorse and no human remorse for that person, have to be a special type of person, a special type of human being. Let me make this call here. This caller, Casey asked me to call her. I'll call her back. Call her right now. It's a debatable topic. The school could do much, so much. Parents always having the bigger role. I think that it's a couple different things. It's a couple different things. Activities that used to go on when kids used to play with kids and play marble, and a community could raise a child and all of that stuff. It seemed to me that it was everybody know each other. Everybody felt, everybody is, they are. Hold on, we got a caller. I'll talk. Hey, Kessia.
Okay. Hey.
How you doing?
Hi, Junior. How are you? I'm good.
All right. So you made a comment there, and I want you to exponent on it a little bit. Tell me the reasoning behind the comment.
Well, Junior, as a mother of a 16-year-old myself, Quinette and my daughter were in the same school in the same class for a couple years. So the look of total hurt and shock that I saw in my child's face when this news came out, I am a stranger to the family. I'm a child, but it hit home because she's a 16-year-old, like my child.
Yeah.
And my children find things that I'm overly, too much of a parent, because I don't allow them into the arms of this wicked world. I'm very protective of them. So as my statement was that, no, I'm not compelled to help now that she's gone. I don't know the story firsthand. Right. Anything we've heard is just rumors. Nobody has cleared it up. But the question that I am on is, as I said, why is a 16-year-old not under her mother's wing? She did mention, I saw your post after.
Right. But let me ask you a question. Why is that the first thing? Why aren't we not more focused on the fact that this little child just died? This somebody took her life. Somebody killed her. Why isn't that the focus? I'm trying to figure out, why is this guy or this young man put himself in this position where he have to take somebody's life? Why we even have to talk about that and almost try to demean the mother, or put the mother down, or put the family down, to make them feel like they was less than what they support, doing a less job than what they're supposed to do? Why is that even part of the conversation?
Well, he will get his just reward, Junior. But there's a cause and effect. There is a domino effect. There is cause and effect. So you have to look at the broad picture. There is cause and effect. People say if you weren't there, your name couldn't call. So it's a cause and effect. So the concern is what caused the domino effect to have initiated that had that child where she was. He is wrong. There's no but by saying
that is the same thing to say, if a woman walked down the street in a short skirt, she's asking for somebody to do her something. She's asking to be raped. She's asking to be molested. So you're putting the fault on the victim. That is victim blaming. You can't blame the victim for being in a particular position at a particular time or a particular day. That's not the broad picture.
No, that's apples and oranges, Junior. The fact is, this is a minor. This is an adult woman who can make choices of her own. This is a minor child that I just find we all failed, because prior to her demise, she was spotted in a situation that somebody could have helped her, right? Even prior to all of this happening, somebody could have called out, somebody could have helped her prior to her demise. So it was a domino effect. She's a minor child. All of us were minors. We made decisions that, looking back today, you might say, oh my God, did I really do that?
Right.
She's a minor child. She's in no way, she has to be taken out of the equation. She is no way responsible for what happened to her. My concern is that she was failed by everybody. I'm not saying, oh, her mother should have, would have, could have. As her mother rightly said, it's a family. You could be at grandma, you could be at auntie, you could be at your sister, back and forth. That's fine. We all understand that. We have extended families. We all understand that.
Yeah, I
like I said, they haven't come to clear
Yeah.
up what has been said on the streets. They haven't come and cleared their names. They haven't come, and they're not obligated to do so. Right now, their focus should be on burying their child. But in my own opinion, I'm not compelled to help. After everything that was said and done, I'm not compelled to help them because she's gone.
But why aren't you not?
Where,
I don't see why you're not compelled to help. If you are in a position to help, you're not going to help because the mother's supposed to be more protective of the child. But at the end of the day, the child is still dead. This happened to her. So when you say you're not compelled to help, when you say you're not compelled to help,
it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
In time, everything will come to forefront.
Yeah.
It was a domino effect, and as I said, we failed her.
Yeah.
As a community, parents, community, friends, neighbors, people who saw, people who didn't engage themselves because they maybe thought, oh, that's not my business. We failed her. That's how I see it.
All right, caller. That's your point of view. Thanks for sharing your point of view with us. All right, appreciate you. All right. We got a call coming in from Dangles. I'm gonna take your call, Dangles. In fact, I'll call you back, Dangles. It came to on my phone. Dangles Ras, I'll call you back right now, guys. We're talking about this issue. This is a serious issue, and again, folks might say it's even a debatable issue because we're talking about a child now, and she's dead, but folks are looking at the fact that her mother, why isn't the family played a bigger role in ensuring that she was where she's supposed to be, a 16-year-old girl? Get that this is a debatable topic. Dangles Ras, how you doing, sir?
Yes, Junior.
Yeah, what's your point of view, Dangles?
My thing is about that is that a lot of people didn't really care about that young girl. All they care about is just the life she used to live and them kind of thing people be talking about.
Right.
If they really did care about her, they would have find out where she going after that argument. I'm not blaming the parents here. I'm just saying they would have find out where she going after the argument. Would have called the sister, make the sister know that okay, she's coming by, right? The sister would have know she coming. If she didn't reach, the sister might have called back. Well, look, I didn't see her. You understand what I'm saying? And then again, another thing I said, I didn't feel this one person do that.
Right.
The size of that girl for this boy for he alone. And then again, how she end up there?
Well, you see, that is the kind of conversation I try not to have. How she did that, how she end up there, how she get there, because it's victim blaming and it's victim shaming, right? And as I said earlier, we see this oftentimes, right? And you probably heard about it. A woman gets raped, right? And the first question a lot of people ask, well, why is she wearing that short skirt? Or why is she walking down the street in the dark? Or why? It's like we blaming the victim for what happened to them, but that happened to them.
Yeah, the victim will have to get no blame. She ain't have to get no blame. There's no blame for the victim. It's just that the person who committed the crime, I don't know what to say about this.
That is the
I
person.
Don't know. I don't know what to say about these people and them.
That is the person that we need to focus on and figure out how we isolate other people in the community so this doesn't happen again. Look at the traits of the killer. Let's look at the traits of the killer. Let's go back and look at his social media activities. See what he was posting. Why was he? Did he speak about this? Did he go and tell somebody after the fact that he killed somebody? What was his mindset? How could we isolate his mindset and make sure that
exactly. I believe he talk about that. He tells somebody about that and people just hold information. They didn't want to see how they don't say it inform.
That is what we need to talk about. That's what I have to say. Thank you, Dan, because we appreciate you. We're gonna take one more call really quick, guys, and then we're gonna wrap it up and get out of here. 718-701-5720. A call is coming in on the phone line. Let's take that call. Caller, you live.
Hi, Junior.
Hi.
Hi, good night. It's Annette Scott. I'm calling.
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Turn your background. Turn your the TV or the.
Oh, turn it down.
Listen. Yeah, listen to me on the phone. Listen to me on the phone. All right.
Sorry about that.
All right. What's your input, caller? What's your input?
Okay. Listening your program, Junior, and I'm from the same area. That's the area I'm from.
Okay.
And actually, the young man, that's my second cousin.
Okay.
That's my uncle's
this young man, that's your second cousin, you say?
Yes.
Okay. Before you say what you have to say, what kind of person was he? What kind of person is he?
I'm gonna be 100% because that's who I am.
Uh-huh.
To me, he's a very respectful little boy, but he acts up a lot. You know, he been having problem growing up as a young man. I remember there was some point, maybe last year before, whenever, that the mom had us to put him in the home in Croshoe, the juvenile center there.
Yeah.
Right, so he was there for a while, and it's not like his first time having problem with the law. I mean, this is the first time it gets like this. Like, personally, I heard the news, it was a certain set of guys in the area that my mind was focusing in on, and he was one of them.
I see.
You understand? And then, even like you saying, like, sometimes you don't have to blame the parents.
Right.
As a mother, I am not blaming the parent, but I'm holding her responsible too. Because if you have a child, Junior, you have children,
yes,
and there is no way that you're going to tell me that your 16-year-old leave home, whether male or female, and you don't know where that child is, don't know where that child heading to.
But why? Hold on. Why are we diverging into that? Why didn't you say, what about the mother should have known?
No, hold on, I'm not finished.
Okay.
Okay? And you would not call and find out where that child is. Number one, personally, as I said, is my relative, but from my point of view, he could spend the rest of his life in jail, because if it was my child or one of my nieces or one of them walking down there and he had done anything to them, that's the same reaction I would have had right now, or maybe even worse.
Right.
You understand? I don't care how much of the child behave. Everybody has something to say, oh, this is a child bad, this one bad. Children are not bad. Children do to the extent that we as parents allow them to do.
Right.
You understand? If we as parents pull up on the socks, as the old people say, they will know where to draw the line. And I've seen it as this. If you have a child, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock,
right,
and you don't see that child, how you as a mother could go and lie down and sleep not knowing where your daughter is, where your child is?
Okay.
You understand? She is wrong, and there is not, I mean, her name, I mean, I don't want, because she is dead, she cannot defend herself, but as I said, that's the area I'm from. I was home last month, and her name is calling with too much of grown men in the area, and why is even the same men that her name calling, why these men who the police had picked up, why aren't they arrested? Why wasn't they charged with rape or something so? Why wasn't they charged with something? I mean, the young man that is in custody right now, he should not be the only one in there. Straight up, he should not be the only one. And I'm telling you, I'm very good with everybody in my neighborhood, but at the end of the day, you as a 16-year-old, some of the guys who her name called it, they have children 16 and older, and they have children just a little under 16 years old. How can you watch a child who is playmate with your own child and try and sleep with her?
Yeah.
You know? Something is wrong somewhere, and something else is happening that we out here, because she is dead, she's not dead to say, well, this is what happened, that is what happened. But the police the police in Grenada did a very good job getting to it and getting to find out who did it so quick, but they need to do some more investigation, because there is no way that a 16-year-old child name should be calling with grown men in the neighborhood, whether the mom chooses to report it or not. Once the police hear or they have an idea, they should work on it personally.
Right.
That's how I see it. That's my contribution.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
The big picture that we all need to talk about, the massive big elephant that is walking slowly around the room, it has to do with underage sex. That is the big elephant in the room. A lot of men, you can be my friend, first of all, but a lot of men in the Caribbean have this thing that they don't say, that after 12 is lunch, right? Meaning that after a girl past 12 years old, it's safe to have sex with them. And the funny thing about it, big men in society, and I'm not blaming or shaming the victim here. I'm just talking about a big problem that is currently affecting the Caribbean region. Big men, see it no way to have sex with underage girls. They don't find no problem with it. A lot of them are in big position. A lot of them are in situations, and they continue to do it until that situation get isolated and fixed. Underage sex situation like that would continue to happen, because all sort of things happen when you have sex with an underage girl. And again, I'm putting it out there, that is the elephant in the room. Who vex? Who vex? All you need to stop and leave them little girls and them alone. When that situation happen and they become dependent, you take their virginity or whatever it is, little girl, and they a bus driver or whatever, a prominent person or whatever, you influential or whatever the case might be, and you go ahead, they become dependent. But you never wanted the dependency. You just go in there for a little thing. And it starts a whole set of different things. Because you ain't going to marry the 12-year-old. You have nothing in common with a 12-year-old. A man that is 25, 35, 45, you have nothing in common with a 12-year-old. Besides, you just want to have sex with a 12-year-old because she's young and she is young. And she's a virgin or she is whatever the case might be. You have nothing in common with a 12-year-old. So that is what the big question that we need to start talking about as well. And we got to address it. Big men having sex with little girls and little boys. Big men having sex with little girls and little boys. It happens widespread. That is the big question that we need to address. This is unless we don't start to address those things and start cultivating the conversation from a ground grassroots level, stuff like that may continue to happen. So I don't think the big question is what we're talking about. I don't think we're talking about what we need to be talking about. We need to be talking about that big men. And for the mothers who know that big men taking the little daughter and they still not prosecuting them big men, because them big men and them giving the mother and the other family member some little cash in their hand. That is the big question. That is the big conversation that we need to have. Underage sex. Until then, this whole thing ain't go stop. It ain't going to stop. No way, no time soon. Nasty big men taking them little girls and them, giving them a little cash, and the mothers and them ain't doing nothing about it because they're getting a little something too. Brothers taking sisters. All this kind of incest and crazy nastiness that happening in our society. That is what's happening. It's happening right in our society. We've seen it. This is happening right in our backyard. That is what we need to talk about. That way we need to get upset about them thing and them. We need to get vexed when we're talking about them thing and them. We need to cause bad word when we're talking about them thing and them. Yes. That is all I have to say. End the program. Done. See you tomorrow. I finish. I'm upset. I'm pissed off. Rest in peace to the young Queenette Johnson. Young girl, life taken away too soon. Guys, that's a young person that could have been the next doctor, a young person that could have been the next MP, a young person that could have been a lawyer, a judge, or whatever. That's a young person's life that was taken away at 16 years old, never got a chance to reach a full potential in life. That is a young person that's gone too soon. And funny enough, we might hear about this thing again next year, tomorrow, next week, and whatever. Because we are not dealing with the problem at hand. That's what we need to deal with. That's what we need to talk about. Young Randy John was charged capital murder today in the death of his charge. He's charged. He's not found guilty as yet, or he hasn't been found guilty. So you're innocent until proven guilty. He's going to provide a defense, and his defense will battle his case. We don't know what the outcome of the case would be. We cannot predetermine what the outcome of the case would be. But at the end of the day, there is a young girl. Her name is Queenette Johnson. She is dead. A family is mourning right now. She will never get a chance to defend herself and tell us about the agony and pain she went through just this couple minutes before someone took her life, allegedly by strangulation. Let us try, please, talk to our boys, talk to our girls, talk to our family, and even if we have to do it ourselves, one-on-one, let's make sure that we don't have this conversation again tomorrow, next week. I don't want to have this conversation again. It's happening too often. Thank you guys for watching. Rest in peace to the young Queenette, the family members. Right along, still would see whatever we could do to assist the family financially. I'm sorry that they couldn't come on the program here to tell their story, but I completely understand. I understand why the family decided not to. It's sad all the way around, guys, but let's talk about it. In the week, this week, we're going to have a discussion. I'm not sure what day is yet, but we'll have a discussion. What mental problems are not being figured out, not being talked about? What do we need to isolate? What more need to be done for depression? Are we dealing with depression again? Depression, isolation, problems, promiscuous, all of these type of things need to be addressed. Guys, catch me tomorrow right back here on The Ride. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. In the meantime, guys, I want you guys to check out the Ride Along Facebook new website, ridealonglive.com. Check out ridealonglive.com. Right now, it's really interactive. It's happening right over there. Also, for updates on everything, I want you guys to subscribe to us on YouTube. Go back to YouTube and subscribe to Ride Along Live on YouTube. So 2 things I want you guys to do. First, check out the website, ridealonglive.com. If you want to share your story, you could do it here as well. And then go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for the input, guys. Let's continue the conversation. Catch me again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Let me see, 'cause the best is in all
CPR saves lives.
Join in the fun and excitement of the first ever CPR party. Become an essential first responder and learn CPR. Hosted by All Pro NYC and Ride Along.
Give the love of life to someone by getting your skills up to save a life.
December 2nd is the date. Refreshments will be served. Space is limited, so sign up now.
Call 516-387-4246.
Or get your tickets at allproparty.eventbrite.com. Register now.
Learn CPR and help save lives.
Need t-shirt printing and more? Call Printex now with best quality and fast, reliable service. No one comes close to our professional service, and with express service delivery, we ship worldwide. Call 718-701-5720 and experience Printex quality printing, where quality meets express. Check us out on Facebook at Printex Now. No one does it like Printex. Printex, quality t-shirt printing.
Brooklyn, New York's biggest event for the past 2 years hits Grenada. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. Yes, Bad Bunny. Happening Saturday, November 3rd at Junction in Lansapine. Ladies, come out dripping your sexy. Music by Big Pumps and Super, Short Leg and Damien and Selected Beats. Tickets cost $40. Get your tickets at Fed.com, Heather's Boutique and Junction. Bad Bunny, the ultimate Halloween costume party, hits Grenada. Saturday, November 3rd. Ladies, come drip your sexy all over Junction in Lansapine. She showed you that the butterfly, I don't know why.
Shakespeare Masks. Colorfully dressed masqueraders challenge each other with their best renditions of Shakespeare's most noted lines.
You all do know this man girl that I remember. The first time I ever seen a booty. It was a summer evening in the States.
A fumble or forgetting of lines will lead you to fall to the playful tap of your opponent's stick.
So they crown one in the village, and then they come to town, and there we really crown the real Shakespeare man.
And Carriacou really has it all. The jab colored in old oil, painted masqueraders, the bright lights of Monday Night Mass, and the color and splendor of Fancy Mass on Carnival Tuesday. Carriacou Carnival is truly one not to be missed. We can't wait to welcome you.
When a loved one passes on, you need a friend. That friend is David Williams Funeral Service. They are conveniently located at 108-20 Sutphin Boulevard in Jamaica, New York. Call us at 718-291-3823. David Williams Funeral Home, serving the community since 1991.